and the vast expanse of the galaxy, there was one rule that every alien species knew and respected: never mess with Earth. No one knew exactly why this rule existed, but it had been passed down from generation to generation. The Galactic Council, a powerful alliance of advanced alien civilizations, had declared this law centuries ago. It was the one thing every species agreed on, without question. Earth, the third planet from the Sun in a small, unremarkable solar system, was considered insignificant by most of the galaxy. Its people, humans, were once seen as weak and primitive, living on a planet filled with war, hunger, and disease. But somehow, Earth had earned a mysterious title of being off. No one could explain why, and no one dared to break this rule. For most of the galaxy, Earth was a place forgotten, a distant world they never needed to worry about. But there was one human, a young scientist named Alex, who couldn't understand it. Why did the galaxy's most advanced civilizations fear a planet full of humans? He had studied Earth's history his whole life and could not find any clue that would explain why such a simple, underdeveloped planet was so feared. To Alex, it was just another world, filled with humans who were doing their best to survive, in a vast universe. But something in his gut told him there was more to the story than anyone was willing to share. One day, Alex stumbled across a strange piece of information hidden deep in the archives of the Galactic Council. It was a single sentence in an old document that was almost lost to time. Earth's past holds a power no one can imagine. That sentence was the key that made Alex's curiosity grow into obsession. What power did Earth have? What made it so dangerous? And why was no one allowed to speak of it? Determined to find answers, Alex made a bold decision. He would break the one rule that the entire galaxy feared. He would travel to Earth. He didn't know what he would find there, but he had to know. The thought of uncovering a hidden truth was too powerful to resist. Alex's plan was risky. The Galactic Council had agents watching every planet, every species, and especially Earth. If he was caught, he could be charged with violating one of the most sacred laws in the galaxy. But Alex didn't care about the risks anymore. His mind was set. He spent months preparing for his journey, gathering old star maps, studying Earth's atmosphere, and learning all he could about the humans who lived there. He didn't tell anyone about his mission, not even his closest friends. He knew that if anyone found out, they would stop him, and he couldn't afford that. Alex finally acquired an ancient ship, an old star cruiser abandoned long ago by a forgotten alien race. It was a relic, but it was still functional. Its controls were old, and it was much slower than modern ships, but it would get him to Earth. The ship had been hidden in the farthest reaches of the galaxy, untouched for centuries. The moment Alex boarded it, he felt both excitement and fear. This was it. There was no turning back now. As he began the journey toward Earth, he couldn't help but wonder what awaited him. He didn't know if he would find the answers he was looking for, but he knew that what he discovered would change everything. He had heard whispers of humans with strange abilities, of powers that defied explanation, but Alex thought they were just stories, legends passed down by people who didn't truly understand Earth's history. As he traveled deeper into space, Alex's thoughts often returned to the warning he had read: never mess with Earth. He knew the dangers were real, but he believed that humanity deserved to know the truth. If there was something powerful hidden on Earth, it was time for the galaxy to understand what made humans so dangerous. The journey to Earth was long, and as Alex crossed the boundaries of known space, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. Every now and then he would notice ships from other alien races, carefully avoiding his path as if they knew what he was doing. It was unsettling, but he pressed on. He couldn't stop now. Finally, after weeks of traveling through the stars, Alex reached the outskirts of Earth's solar system. The planet was small, blue, and beautiful, just as he had imagined. But there was something else, something that made his heart race with excitement. Earth was surrounded by an invisible barrier, a force field that no ship could pass through without clearance. Alex's eyes widened. This was it. This was what everyone had been avoiding. He activated his ship's cloaking device and carefully moved closer to the planet. As he passed through the barrier, he couldn't help but feel a strange sensation, as if the planet was watching him. He had finally arrived. Alex landed on Earth's surface in a remote area far from any human settlements. He stepped out of the ship, breathing in the fresh, cool air. For the first time, he felt truly alone. The planet was beautiful, but it was also full of mysteries. His mind raced with questions as he looked out over the horizon. What had happened here? What was the secret that the galaxy had been so desperate to hide? Alex knew that he would find answers, but as he began his journey into the unknown, he also knew that nothing would ever be the same again. Alex's heart raced as his ship descended through Earth's atmosphere. The blue planet below him was even more beautiful than he had imagined. From space, it looked peaceful, calm, almost untouched. But Alex knew better. There was a secret hidden here, a secret that had been kept from the entire galaxy for centuries. He had to uncover it. He had to find out why Earth was off limits. His ship touched down gently on the ground. The engine hummed as it powered down, and Alex unstrapped himself from his seat. He sat for a moment, looking out the small viewport, at the vast landscape before him. This was it, the beginning of everything. But it also felt like the end. He was far from home, and no one would come to help if something went wrong. Alex stood up, his legs slightly shaky from the long journey. The ancient ship had been old when he found it, but it had been his only option. The ship wasn't fast, but it was sturdy. It had taken him across the stars without a single major problem. But now, on Earth, he would need to be careful. He didn't know what dangers awaited him. He opened the ship's hatch and stepped out onto the ground. The air was cool, a bit different from the dry air of the ship. It smelled fresh, like grass and earth. Alex took a deep breath, feeling the weight of what he was about to do. He had traveled far from home, crossed vast distances, and broken a rule that no one had ever dared break before. But now that he was here, he wasn't sure where to start. He had no guide, no map. He knew one thing for certain. Earth wasn't like any other planet. It was filled with strange stories and even stranger people. There had to be a reason why the Galactic Council had feared it. But Alex couldn't let fear stop him. He had to find the truth. As he set foot on the dirt, he saw the distant outline of a small human village. It was far from where he had landed, but it was the only sign of life in the area. Alex hesitated for a moment. He wasn't sure how humans would react to his sudden appearance. After all, he wasn't just any human. He was an outsider, an alien to this world, with knowledge far beyond anything most humans could understand. But he didn't have time to waste. He needed to find answers. Slowly, he made his way toward the village. As he walked, he couldn't help but feel that he was being watched. The hairs on the back of his neck stood up, and he kept glancing over his shoulder, half expecting someone or something to jump out at him. The silence was heavy. Earth was different from any planet he had visited. It felt alive, as if the planet itself was aware of his presence. When Alex reached the village, he saw humans going about their daily lives. They were simple people, living in small houses with farms and fields stretching out around them. They seemed peaceful enough, but there was something strange about the way they looked at him. Some glanced away quickly, while others seemed to study him for a moment too long before going back to their work. Alex wasn't sure if it was his appearance or the feeling that he was an outsider that made them uneasy. He approached a small group of humans working near the village center. A man and a woman were talking to each other, their faces weary from a long day of work. Alex cleared his throat and took a step forward. The two humans stopped and turned to face him, their expressions curious but guarded. "Hello," Alex said, his voice calm but firm. "I'm looking for information. I need to know about this planet." The man looked him up and down, his brow furrowing. "You're not from around here, are you?" he asked, his voice low. Alex nodded. "No, I'm not. I've come from ... far away." The woman stepped forward, her expression softening. "You must have a lot of questions. Earth isn't like the places you've seen. We've got our own way of doing things here." Alex tried to keep his voice steady, but a part of him couldn't help but feel a little nervous. These people, these humans, had no idea what was coming. They didn't know the truth about their own planet, but Alex did, and he was going to uncover it. "I need to know why Earth is so important. Why is it off limits to the rest of the galaxy? What's the real story?" Alex asked, his eyes searching theirs for any sign of recognition. The man hesitated, glancing at the woman, who gave a small nod. "You've heard the stories, haven't you?" she asked. "About the powers that were once here." Alex felt his pulse quicken. "Powers?" The woman nodded. "It's not something people talk about much, but they're old stories about humans ... and what they could do. Some say it's just legend, but others believe the power is still here, hidden deep within the planet." The man added, "The council doesn't want anyone to know. They're afraid of what humans can do, and for good reason." Alex was stunned. He had heard rumors, but to hear it from these humans was something else entirely. They knew more than anyone had ever told him. The pieces were starting to come together, but Alex needed more. He needed to understand how it all fit into the grand picture. "Where can I learn more?" Alex asked, his mind racing. He needed to find the truth before the Galactic Council caught up with him. The woman looked at him seriously. "There's a place ... far from here. It's a hidden place, a place where the old secrets are kept. But be careful, you're not the first to seek them out. Alex nodded, feeling the weight of her words. He was on the right path. But now, his real journey was about to begin. He had to uncover the secrets of Earth. The future of the galaxy depended on it. With that, Alex turned and headed toward the unknown, knowing that every step would bring him closer to the truth. The sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows across the land as Alex made his way through the dense forest. The woman from the village had given him directions to a place far from the reach of the ordinary world, a place hidden from most of humanity. She had warned him that the journey would be dangerous, but she also said it was the only way to uncover the truth about Earth's past. Alex had no choice but to follow the path she had shown him. As the day turned to night, Alex found himself deep in the wilderness, with only the light of the stars to guide his way. The forest was eerily silent, with only the rustle of leaves in the breeze to break the stillness. The deeper he went, the more uneasy he felt. There was something strange about this place. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. Hours passed as Alex continued his trek, and just as he was beginning to wonder if he would ever reach his destination, the trees began to thin, revealing a clearing in the forest. In the center of the clearing stood an old stone structure, half covered in vines and moss. It looked ancient, far older than anything Alex had seen on Earth. It was as if the building had been there for centuries, forgotten by time. Alex approached cautiously, his heart pounding in his chest. He had no idea what to expect inside. The woman's warning echoed in his mind, "You're not the first to seek them out." He didn't know who else had come before him, but he could sense that whatever was hidden inside this place would change everything. The stone door was cracked, barely hanging on its hinges. Alex pushed it open, and a gust of cold air rushed out from inside. The air smelled of dust and old stone, and as Alex stepped inside, he was immediately struck by the sense of history. The room was dimly lit by the faint glow of glowing symbols etched into the walls. Alex couldn't read them, but there was something powerful about them, something that made the hairs on the back of his neck stand up. As he ventured deeper into the structure, he found what appeared to be an altar, covered in ancient symbols and markings. On the altar lay a large, rectangular object, wrapped in a cloth. Alex's heart raced. This must be it, the hidden truth about Earth. He carefully approached the altar and, with trembling hands, reached for the object. Before he could touch it, a voice rang out, startling him. "You shouldn't be here." Alex spun around to find a figure standing in the shadows. The figure was tall, cloaked in a dark robe that covered most of its face, but Alex could make out the faint outline of a human-like form. The figure's eyes gleamed with an unnatural light, and its presence felt overwhelming. "Who are you?" Alex demanded, trying to steady his breath. The figure took a step forward, its voice low and calm. "I am the guardian of the secret. You've come for the truth, but you are not ready for it." Alex's pulse quickened. "I've come this far. I need to know what happened here. Why does the galaxy fear Earth?" The figure tilted its head, as if considering Alex's words. "The truth you seek is not easily given. Many have come before you, seeking the same answers, but none have left with the knowledge they sought. The power of this place is not something you can simply understand. It is something that must be earned." Alex felt a wave of frustration. He had come so far, risked everything to uncover the truth, and now he was being told he wasn't ready. But he couldn't give up now. He had to know. "I'm ready," Alex said, his voice firm. "I've come all this way. I won't leave until I know the truth." The Guardian studied him for a long moment before nodding. "Very well, but be warned. What you learn will change you. It will change everything." With that, the Guardian stepped aside, allowing Alex to approach the altar. Slowly, Alex reached for the cloth, his hands shaking. As he uncovered the object, a strange energy seemed to pulse from it, filling the room with a low hum. It was a small, smooth stone, unlike anything Alex had ever seen. It was warm to the touch, and when he held it in his hands, he felt a strange connection to it, as if it was part of him. "This," the Guardian said, his voice now more distant, "is the heart of Earth. It is the key to everything. It holds the power that the galaxy fears. It is why Earth was sealed away. But be careful, Alex. The heart is not a gift. It is a responsibility. If you choose to wield it, you will carry its burden." Alex's mind raced as he stared at the stone in his hands. The heart of Earth, this was the source of the power the galaxy had feared. It was no ordinary artifact. It was a living, breathing part of the planet itself. But what did it mean? What was this power that had been hidden for so long? The Guardian's voice interrupted his thoughts. "You must decide now. Will you take the heart and unlock its secrets, or will you leave this place?" leaving Earth's power hidden forever. Alex hesitated. He had come this far and there was no turning back, but the weight of the decision was heavy. Could he really wield such power? Would he be able to control it, or would it destroy him, like it had destroyed those who came before him? I have to know, Alex whispered, more to himself than to the Guardian. I have to know the truth. With that, he made his decision. He would take the heart of Earth and uncover the mysteries that had been hidden for so long. Whatever happened next, he would face it head-on, because in the end, humanity's future and the fate of the galaxy depended on it. Alex's hands shook as he held the heart of Earth, its warmth spreading through his fingers. The strange energy that pulsed from the stone seemed to connect with something deep inside him. He didn't understand what it was, but he knew it was more than just a simple artifact. This was the key to the secrets Earth had been hiding for centuries, the power the galaxy feared, and now, it was in his hands. The Guardian stepped back into the shadows, watching Alex with a calm expression. You have made your choice, he said quietly. Now, the truth will reveal itself to you. Alex nodded slowly, his mind racing. What was this power? Why had the galaxy kept Earth hidden? He had spent years searching for answers, and now it seemed like he was on the edge of something far greater than he had ever imagined. As he stared at the heart of Earth, a low hum filled the room, growing louder with each passing second. The symbols on the walls began to glow brighter, and the stone in his hands seemed to pulse in rhythm with the sound. Suddenly, the room around him shifted. The walls seemed to fade away, replaced by flashes of images, visions of a time long before Earth was a forgotten planet. He saw humans, strong and full of life, walking among the stars. They weren't the people he had known on Earth. These humans were different. They were powerful, capable of bending the very fabric of space and time. Alex's heart raced as he watched them use their abilities to shape worlds, to control energy in ways that seemed impossible. But something went wrong. The vision shifted again, showing the rise of an empire built by humans, stretching across the galaxy. But as the empire grew, so did its power, and with that power came corruption. Alex saw leaders becoming consumed by their desire for control, using the very power they had created to crush anyone who opposed them. War spread across the stars, and the humans who had once been protectors became tyrants. Then the visions changed once more. He saw a great conflict, an event that shook the galaxy to its core. The humans, once the rulers of the stars, turned against themselves. The power that had once been their greatest strength became their greatest weakness. Civil war broke out, and the empire crumbled. The once great human civilization was destroyed, leaving behind only scattered remnants of its people. And then, Alex saw it, a final image, clear and undeniable. A small group of humans, those who had survived the fall of their empire, made a desperate decision. They sealed Earth away, hiding its power from the rest of the galaxy. The heart of Earth was the key to that seal, and it was kept hidden so that no one could ever use the power of the old empire again. The people who had made the decision to seal Earth away knew that the galaxy was not ready for what Earth could unleash. The visions faded, and Alex was left standing in the silence of the stone room, the heart of Earth still warm in his hands. His mind was spinning with the truth. Earth wasn't just a forgotten world, it was the birthplace of one of the most powerful civilizations the galaxy had ever known, and that power had been locked away, hidden from the rest of the universe. But why? Why had the Council kept this secret for so long? Why had they been so determined to keep Earth's past buried? As the room began to settle back into its quiet state, Alex turned to the Guardian. The figure was still standing in the shadows, watching him with a gaze that seemed to pierce through him. What happens now? Alex asked, his voice filled with urgency. What is this power, and why was it hidden from the galaxy? The Guardian stepped forward, his face now illuminated by the faint glow from the heart of Earth. The power you have witnessed is the power of creation and destruction, the Guardian said. It is a power to shape the galaxy, to bend the very fabric of reality. But it is also the power to destroy everything. The humans who lived long ago knew that such power could not be trusted in the hands of any one race. That is why Earth was sealed. The galaxy was not ready for the knowledge and strength that lay hidden on this planet. Alex's mind raced as the truth sank in. Earth wasn't just a random, forgotten world. It was the birthplace of the galaxy's greatest power, and now that power was in his hands. But the responsibility was enormous. He didn't know what to do with it, or if he could control it. The Guardian continued. The heart of Earth is the key to unlocking that power. It is also the key to unlocking your future, Alex. If you choose to use it, you will change the course of history. But you must understand one thing. The galaxy is not ready for the truth you now know. The Galactic Council will do anything to keep this power hidden. If they learn what you have found, they will stop at nothing to destroy you. Alex felt a cold chill run down his spine. He had known the Council was powerful, but he had no idea they would go this far to protect their secrets. And now he had a choice. He could either leave Earth, walk away from the heart and its power, or he could take it and face the consequences. I can't walk away from this, Alex said, his voice determined. The galaxy needs to know the truth. If the Council has been hiding this, it's because they're afraid. Afraid of what Earth can do, afraid of what humans are capable of. The Guardian nodded slowly. That is true. But the path you choose will not be easy. The galaxy is not ready for the power of Earth, and those who have hidden the truth will stop at nothing to keep it buried. Alex looked down at the heart in his hands, feeling its power surge through him. He could feel the weight of his decision pressing down on him. But there was no turning back now. He had come for the truth, and now he would carry that truth into the galaxy. I'm ready, Alex said quietly, his eyes focused on the heart. I'll show the galaxy the true power of Earth. Alex stood in the shadow of the ancient structure, his thoughts swirling. The truth he had uncovered was more than he had ever imagined. Earth had once been the center of a powerful empire, and the heart of Earth held the key to unimaginable power. But with that power came great responsibility. He had the choice to wield it, to bring humanity to its rightful place in the galaxy, but at what cost? As he held the heart of Earth in his hands, Alex knew that his actions would change everything. The galaxy wasn't ready for the truth he now held. The Galactic Council had hidden it away for centuries, and they would stop at nothing to keep it buried. Alex could feel their presence, even though they were miles away. He could sense their fear, their determination to protect their secrets. His thoughts were interrupted by a low hum that filled the air. It wasn't the same hum from the heart. This was different. Alex turned quickly, his eyes scanning the Guardian had warned him about the consequences of his actions, but Alex hadn't expected the Council to act so swiftly. A small group of ships appeared in the sky, their dark silhouettes blocking out the stars. They were fast, sleek, and heavily armed. Alex recognized them instantly. They were ships of the Galactic Council, the very same fleet that had kept Earth isolated for centuries. The Council had come to stop him. Alex's heart pounded in his chest. There was no time to waste. He had to act fast. With the heart of Earth in his possession, he was the target now. The ships began descending toward the clearing, their engines roaring in the night. Alex could feel the weight of the situation. He had been warned, but now the time had come to face the consequences of his choice. He ran to the ship he had arrived in, the ancient vessel that had carried him across the stars. The ship wasn't much, but it was all he had. As the ships of the Council closed in, Alex quickly powered up the vessel, his fingers trembling as he worked the controls. He had no time to think. His only goal was to escape. The ancient ship roared to life, and Alex shot into the sky, narrowly avoiding the incoming fire from the Council's fleet. The ships pursued him, their weapons lighting up the night. Alex's heart raced as he weaved through the sky, the ground far below him. He could hear the shrill warning sounds of the ship's systems as they alerted him to incoming fire, but he had no choice. The Council was determined to stop him, and they would do whatever it took. Mind raced as he thought of his next move. He needed to find a way to lose them, to get away and figure out how to use the power of the heart of Earth without the Council finding him. The fleet of Council ships was relentless, their engines roaring as they pursued him across the skies. Of Earth, Alex knew that if they caught him, it would be the end of everything. The Council wouldn't just destroy him, they would make sure that Earth's secrets remained locked away forever. Suddenly, a bright flash of light illuminated the sky, and a massive explosion rocked the ancient ship. Alex gritted his teeth as the ship shuddered. The control panels, flickering and sparking. The blast had damaged one of the engines. He had to make it to a safe place. He couldn't afford to lose this battle. Come on, Alex muttered under his breath. His eyes focused on the controls. He gripped the controls tighter, pushing the ship as fast as it would go. The ships of the Council were getting closer, their weapons locked on him, but Alex wasn't ready to give up yet. He had come too far to let them take everything from him. The ship jolted again, and Alex struggled to keep it steady. He needed to find shelter somewhere to regroup, to figure out his next move. In the distance, he saw a mountain range rising up against the night sky. It was a long shot, but it was his only option. With a final burst of speed, Alex veered toward the mountains, his ship skimming dangerously close to the ground. The Council ships followed closely behind, their weapons firing once again. Alex could hear the whine of the lasers as they missed him by inches, but he didn't dare look back. He had to make it to the mountains. The ship's engines sputtered, struggling against the damage they had taken, but Alex pushed on. He could see the mountains getting closer now, the rocky peaks looming large ahead of him. He was almost there. Just as the council ships were about to catch up, Alex flew into a narrow canyon between two mountains. The sharp turns and narrow paths were the perfect place to lose them. He didn't care if the ship was falling apart. This was his only chance. The ships of the council followed into the canyon, their weapons firing, but the sharp turns made it difficult for them to hit their target. Alex twisted the controls, forcing the ship into a series of tight turns as he maneuvered through the canyon. The council ships were fast, but Alex had the advantage of knowing the terrain as he weaved through the canyon. He could hear the ships growing farther behind. The rocks on either side seemed to close in on him, but Alex didn't slow down. He pushed the ancient ship to its limits, racing through the canyon with the heart of Earth still burning in his hands. The council couldn't catch him now. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Alex emerged from the canyon and into a hidden valley, far from the reach of the council's ships. His ship was damaged, but it was still flying, and that was enough. He had lost them for now. As Alex took a deep breath, his heart still pounding in his chest, he realized that the real battle was just beginning. The council would never stop looking for him. They would never stop trying to bury the truth about Earth. But Alex had made his choice. He couldn't turn back. The future of the galaxy was in his hands, and now he would fight to ensure that the truth about Earth, and the power hidden within it, would never be lost again. The valley was quiet, the only sound, the gentle rustling of trees in the wind. Alex sat at the controls of the damaged ship, his hands still trembling from the chase. I escaped the Galactic Council, for now. His ship was barely functioning, and the heart of Earth, still warm in his hands, felt heavier with each passing moment. But as he stared out at the distant horizon, something in him shifted. This wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about more than him. It was about Earth, and it was about time the galaxy learned the truth. Alex's escape had given him a temporary peace, but he knew this was just the beginning. The Council's ships would not give up so easily. They would be back, and they would bring more firepower, more soldiers. They would stop at nothing to keep the truth about Earth buried forever. But Alex also knew that there was no going back. Earth's power had been hidden for centuries, and it was time for humanity to stand up and claim its place in the galaxy. He couldn't do it alone, though. He needed help. He needed allies, humans who understood what had been hidden from them, humans who could use the power of the heart of Earth to fight back. He stood up and glanced at the wreckage of his ship. It would take days, maybe weeks, to repair it, and even then, it wouldn't be enough to fight off the council. He needed a plan, a bigger plan. Alex, a voice called out from behind him. He turned to see the woman from the village, the one who had given him the directions to the ancient structure. She had found him, just as she had promised. "How did you find me?" Alex asked, his voice rough from the tension of the past few days. "I've been watching," she said simply. Walking toward him, "The council won't stop, but neither will you. You have something they fear, and I've seen what you can do with it." Alex glanced at the heart of Earth, still in his hands. It pulsed softly, almost as if it were alive. He could feel it, power deep inside him, and he knew she was right. This wasn't just about the heart, it was about what it represented, the strength of humanity, a strength that had been hidden for too long. "You're right," Alex said, his voice steadier now. "But I need more. I can't do this alone." "You won't have to," she replied. "There are others. People who remember the old stories. People who know what we're capable of. We just need to find them." Alex looked at her, surprised. "You mean, there are more like me?" She nodded. "More than you think, and not just humans. There are others who are waiting for someone to show them the way, someone to lead them, someone who can use the power of the heart to bring change." Alex felt a spark of hope. He had always known that humans were more than just a forgotten species. They had been powerful once, and perhaps they still were. If he could find the right people, if he could unlock that power again, they might have a chance to fight back against the council. "Where do we start?" Alex asked, his voice filled with determination. The woman smiled. "We start by reaching out. We'll need to make contact with the other humans who are ready to fight, and we'll need to find the places where Earth's power is hidden. There are ancient sites scattered across the planet, places where the old power lies dormant. If we can awaken them, we'll have the strength we need to face the council." Alex nodded. The plan was risky, but it was the only chance they had. He knew the council would never allow humans to rise again. They had kept Earth's secrets, hidden for a reason, but now, the truth was out, and Alex was determined to see it through. "We'll need to move quickly," Alex said, his voice hardening with resolve. "The council won't give us time to prepare." The woman agreed. "We don't have time to waste. But you're not alone in this, Alex. We'll stand together." For the first time in days, Alex felt a sense of hope. It was small, fragile, but it was there. He wasn't just a lone man running from the council. He was a leader, and the people who needed him were out there. All he had to do was find them. With the heart of Earth still glowing softly in his hands, Alex set his sights on the horizon. The road ahead would be long and dangerous, but it was the only path that mattered. Earth's power was no longer a secret, and Alex was ready to lead humanity into a new era, one where they would no longer be weak, forgotten, or hidden. "Let's go," Alex said, his voice filled with purpose. "It's time to change the galaxy." The quiet of the valley was broken by the sound of footsteps. Alex stood at the edge of the cliff, looking out over the land below. The wind tugged at his clothes, but his mind was far away, caught in the storm of thoughts and decisions that had brought him here. He had gathered his allies, and now they were preparing for the next stage. They were no longer just a scattered group of people with a few secrets. They were something more. They were a force, one that would change the galaxy. The mission was clear. The Galactic Council's hold on the galaxy had to be broken, and Earth's secret its power had to be revealed to the universe. Alex knew it would be dangerous. He knew there would be resistance. But he also knew that humanity had something the galaxy had forgotten: strength. The same strength that had once made them the rulers of the stars. He wasn't sure how long it would take, but every day felt like a battle. Earth's old power had begun to awaken, and with it, the humans who had been waiting for this moment were rising up. It wasn't just about the heart of Earth anymore, it was about the future. It was about creating a new era for Earth and its people. Alex turned as the woman from the village approached him. Her face was serious, but there was a spark in her eyes. She had been a great help in gathering the scattered humans who were ready to fight, the ones who remembered the old stories, the ones who understood the potential of Earth. "They're ready," she said quietly, looking at the group behind her. "We've gathered as many as we could. They're waiting for you." Alex nodded. "We'll move soon. But we need to be careful. The council will be watching every move we make. If we move too quickly, they'll strike first." The woman agreed. "We'll be careful, but they won't expect us to be ready. That's our advantage." Alex glanced at the group that had gathered in the valley. There were dozens of them from all over Earth, people who had once lived ordinary lives, unaware of the power they carried. But now, with the heart of Earth and the knowledge of their ancestors, they were no longer ordinary. They had the potential to change everything. Alex's mind drifted back to the moment when he had first held the heart of Earth. The power that had once been sealed away was now in his hands, and it was more than he had ever imagined. But with that power came responsibility. The council had hidden Earth's secrets because they knew the galaxy wasn't ready, but Alex knew that it was time for humanity to stand tall again, to take its place among the stars. "We'll need to split up," Alex said, looking at his allies. "Will hit multiple targets. We can't let the council know where we're coming from. We'll attack their key bases and cut off their supply lines. Every move has to be calculated." The group nodded in agreement. They had no choice. The stakes were too high. They had no time to waste. The woman stepped forward again. "We're with you, Alex. We're ready to fight. We've waited for this moment for so long." Alex looked at the faces of his allies. They were strong, determined, and ready for what was coming. They weren't just fighting for Earth, they were fighting for the galaxy's future. "We all have a role to play," Alex said, his voice steady. "This isn't just about Earth's power. It's about showing the galaxy that humanity isn't weak anymore. We have a voice, and we won't be silenced." The woman nodded. "What's our first move?" Alex paused for a moment, considering the question. They had to strike hard and fast. They couldn't afford to give the council time to react. But where would they start? "We'll start with the communications hubs," Alex decided. "The council uses them to keep control of the galaxy. If we take them out, they won't be able to coordinate their forces. It'll give us the upper hand." The woman smiled. "I'll get the team ready. We'll move out in the morning." Alex watched as the group dispersed to prepare for the mission. Each person had a purpose, and together, they were more than just a group of rebels. They were the beginning of a new chapter for humanity. That is, the night stretched on. Alex found himself standing alone on the edge of the valley, staring at the stars. The road ahead would be difficult. There would be losses. There would be moments when it seemed like they had lost everything. But in that moment, Alex knew one thing for sure. Earth's time had come. The galaxy was about to learn what humans were truly capable of. He wasn't just a man carrying the heart of Earth anymore. He was a leader, a symbol of humanity's strength and resilience. He had a responsibility to the people who had placed their trust in him, and he wasn't going to let them down. With a final glance at the horizon, Alex turned and made his way back to the camp. The mission was set. The first step in the battle for Earth's future was about to begin.